It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. Welcome to the best show that you ever know. It's the Dep Lewis Show, episode 11. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Friday, December 16th, 2022, and thank you for being here. This is the first night episode of the Dep Lewis Show, so I hope you enjoy a night episode here in the dark. Maybe you're in the dark, maybe you're laying in your bed, maybe you're playing some games, maybe you're relaxing late at night, maybe you have a candle on, maybe you're sipping on something good, maybe you are even smoking on something good, maybe you're doing whatever you please, and I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for listening to this show. I hope you've had a great week of video games. We've had a whole lot of news this week. I played some great games this week that I'd like to talk to you about. And we're going to get into it. So, the first order of business is to follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. You need to like, you need to subscribe, you need to rate, you need to comment, good or bad, any suggestions, just anything on your mind. Review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Word of mouth will be pretty huge. If you enjoy the show, please tell someone else who might be interested in it, and just let them give the show a shot. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. That email box is always open. I pay the Gmail people a whole lot of money annually to allow this email box to be open and to receive your emails. So please utilize this email box as much as you can. Full episodes of the podcast are of the Dep Lewis Show. That's the podcast. They're on Apple Podcasts. They're on Spotify. They're on YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. The Buzzsprout page is a great hub to find the perfect place for you to listen to this podcast. So please check out the Buzzsprout page. They are very useful. Clips of this podcast are on YouTube and on TikTok. So please go like and comment on those and share those on your social media sites if you may please. If you really just want to do the Dep Lewis Show a great service. And just thank you for being here. We are getting closer to the day where the guy comes down the chimney and brings gifts to everyone. So people are probably going to be getting some video games and getting some consoles and some controllers and some new storage and computers and all sorts of awesome shit. So I hopefully some of that stuff is coming your way. And then if not, hopefully you're getting in on some of these great video game deals that are going on lately. I've seen deals on tons of games lately. Tons of great deals. There's no shortage of ways to play games. There's games out there for under $5 you can buy right now that you can get hours of content. So, it's a great time to be a video gamer. So, thank you for being here for the 11th episode of the Dep Lewis Show. We are going to start with some notes from the last show. I want to just keep getting better at doing a podcast. So, I need to be more cognizant of the ums and the ands and the hesitations. I need to just let it breathe a little bit and just go into my next sentence. So I'm going to try to do better at that this episode and going forward. So I'm just pointing that out this time. And then let's see. See, there was some hesitation there. I said, let's talk about some video game corrections. Last podcast I said I was wondering if there was going to be another Call of Duty this year. And I really meant, is there going to be another Call of Duty in 2023? And it looks like there will be a full price. See, there's another It looks like there is not going to be another new game, but it looks like there will be a full price update to Modern Warfare 2 in the fall of 2023. It's going to be adding campaign and new maps. So the next official release of Call of Duty will be 2024 for a brand new game with no ties to this Modern Warfare 2. And Treyarch is doing that game in 2024, and it's going to be a Black Ops joint. So there will not be another true new Call of Duty game in 2023, so it looks like this game is going to have some legs to it, whether you like it or not. And it seems like you probably will like it because this game's been doing great, and I've been having a lot of fun with it myself. And I haven't really heard any negatives about it out there in the video game universe. So there is going to be a full price update to this game in the fall, which is interesting because that's not something I think they've done before. This is going to be $70. And it's basically a massive expansion to the game that we currently have with a new campaign, a bunch of multiplayer maps, possibly remade Modern Warfare 2 maps, and so forth. So look out for that in the fall and save your money if you are going to be playing this Call of Duty for the whole next year. And it seems like a lot of people will, and I could be one of those people. I've started playing with some friends, and this game has been very fun, and as long as you have a subscription to Xbox Live or PS Plus, it looks like you can shoot some people and get your KD up. So it's pretty cool. I think I'll probably be buying this update if I'm still playing Call of Duty, which I really think is probably a pretty positive guess. So I just wanted to bring that news to you and clarify that point. Let's see. I think I said the P90 name wrong. I still don't remember that off top, but I have it written down here so I remember it. It is the PDSW528, so that's my favorite gun in that game. And then I think I might want the MP5, which is called the Lockman Sub. So I don't know why these names are confusing to me, but I'm slowly figuring out which guns they are and which guns I might possibly want to use. So another correction from last show. I was trying to describe the color palette of Ollie Ollie World, and I couldn't really get to the term that I wanted to use, and I found out that it's pastel colors. So there's tons of pastel colors in that game. I think I referred to them as Easter colors, but the whole game is like pastel colors, and it looks like an ice cream shop, is what I was saying. And it is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool graphical style, and I think that's a good way to sum it up. Let's see. When I was talking about God of War Ragnarok last week, I mentioned Mimir being Kratos' brother, and I don't think it's his actual brother. I think he just calls him this. When I've been replaying some Call of Duty, he does call him this a few times, so I get where I was thinking it might be his brother, but I believe it's just more of a thing where they're pretty close, so he's calling him that. And then I do like Mimir, so I looked up some information on him, and I'll bring that to you. Mimir means the remember or the wise one in Old Norse. He is a figure in Norse mythology who is renowned for his knowledge and wisdom, so him being a talking head, thank God he is renowned for his wisdom, because that's the only thing he can bring to the table at this point. So if he was spewing nonsense all the time, he would be very annoying, and he'd just want to shut him up. So I just wanted to clarify my Mimir comment, so the Mimir fans wouldn't be coming for me. And then I did discover, I'm re-listening to this podcast, so if no one else is listening to it, I am, to try to improve on it. And the random sound that I've been noticing, that's like a low humming in the background that I attributed to my computer at one point, which is false. It is actually just my I think it's been my heating vent this whole time. It's my heat running, and it kicks on, and you can hear it a little bit on the podcast and in the headphones. So for this podcast, just so you know, this is a night episode, and I have turned the heat off in the apartment, in the massive studio that this episode is being recorded in. So I'm sitting here on this hard kitchen chair for the sound, and I don't even have the heat on, so the sound quality can be better for you out there, listener, and I hope it's really benefiting you greatly right now. I hope your ears are just feeling great, and I hope you're having a great time listening to this. This being recorded at night, I don't think we'll have any sound outside that'll be disturbing us, so I think people are saying this could be the best sounding Dep Lewis Show podcast yet, so we will see. So I'm sorry for just noticing that feedback coming through, but hopefully I will figure these things out. Even if they're slow, hopefully I'll figure them out at some point. Another thing I'm figuring out is my Elgato, which is my video game capture device, and I think I really just figured out how I just had my best session with the Elgato tonight, and I feel like I fully understand it now. I just really have to dial down the settings on my PS5 and my Xbox Series X if I want to record with it easily. So I just need to know each time when I'm going to record some footage, I need to dial down the settings at least to 1080p. I need to take off the high refresh rate. I need to take off any type of ultra high definition settings and record my footage. So the Elgato is only able to capture so much fidelity. So if I go ahead and hit those settings early, it's actually not too bad to do, and the footage still looks fine. And the footage I'm just trying to capture is just to highlight the podcast anyway. So I'm pretty happy that I figured this out, and I think it'll be a lot easier to use going forward. And I was thinking the Xbox originally was the easiest one to stream footage from, but actually the PS5 only had a few quick settings to hit, and I was able to capture some God of War footage. So I don't know. I think they're both actually pretty easy. It seems like the Xbox might have a few more settings to choose from, so it can be a little more confusing possibly with dialing down the settings. But I think I figured them both out, and it just took some trial and error, and I'm pretty happy about that. So hopefully you'll be seeing some great footage and some clips from this podcast today. And so that is it for the notes from last show. So hopefully I'm just going to keep improving on my podcast skills and not make any more flubs like that. So we're going to keep on rolling. So for this first section today, we're going to talk about the video games I've been playing and the video games I'm into. And we're going to get right into it. So let's see here. The first thing I want to talk about is Splatoon 3. That's the game of the year for the Dep Lewis Show 2022. No spoiler alert needed there because that information is just known. If you look anywhere on the internet, they'll tell you that Splatoon 3 is the game of the year for the Dep Lewis Show. I have not played much Splatoon 3 this week, but I wanted to let you know that there's a new Splatfest coming up. So they've given us new Splatfest details. The 3 choices are going to be spicy, sweet, and sour. I like to pick last time I picked my choice live on the air, so I'm going to do that today. Are we going to go with spicy, sweet, or sour? Spicy, sweet, or sour, and we're going to go sour. Since it is a nightly hour, we're going to pick sour. So you can catch the Dep Lewis Show playing Splatoon 3 for the sour team at 4 p.m. Pacific time, just so you know. Convert that to whenever you want to. That's what they put in the press release. So 4 p.m. Pacific time on Friday, January 6, 2023, and it goes till 4 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, January 8th, 2023. So January 6th weekend, you can catch the Dep Lewis Show on the interwebs playing some Splatoon 3 in the new Splatfest and repping the Sour Gang. I'm going to be the Sour Gang shawty out there. I'm going to be eating Sour Patch Kids. I'm going to be having sour beers. I'm going to have a sour look on my face, and I'm going to be kicking some ass out there. So, and there's also another detail to this. So on January 6th is when this starts. I believe that's a Friday. But you can also get a Splatfest sneak peek, which starts at 12 a.m. Pacific time on 12:30. So that's even before the end of the new year. Hot damn. And it says once you pick a team, you'll get a conch, whatever that word is, shell, every time you level up your catalog. And you can use those at the shell out machine. So go get it taken care of before the lunch rush. So it's cool, gives you a little sneak peek, get you a little extra hype for the Splatfest. So I'll definitely be checking in to the game then. I just didn't get any games in this week. It's just been a busy week, and I've been playing some other stuff. I've played a lot of Splatoon 3 already. It is clearly a great game in my mind. So these things like these Splatfests coming up will be a great time for me to play this game and prioritize it. So other than that, I'm just going to be playing this game here and there. And I'll definitely be playing during the Splatfest and let you know what I think of that. So that is the Dep Lewis Show Splatoon 3 update of the week. Another game I'd like to talk about today is just something I've purchased this week. It was a recommendation from my friend Volnus, who does the music for the Dep Lewis Show. All the wonderful music you hear on the show is created by the great Volnus, and he's also my video game friend. So he texted me this week and said, hey, I should check this game out. And this game is on sale this week, and it's on sale until December 28th at midnight and on Pacific time. So that's what Nintendo's using as their time as well. And it's on sale for $1.99. So no reason to have any hesitation about copping this game, especially because of the great price and the great recommendation from a friend. So, and I actually got this game for 7 cents after using my Nintendo points that I had accrued. So I got this game for 7 cents. I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I plan to get into it some this week, in the upcoming week. But I just wanted to highlight that I bought this game and I got it on sale. And if you wanted to go get it too, you can. And let's see. This game, I looked up some information. It's a top-down shooter game that takes place in a futuristic city. It's filled with red, cube-like enemies. You tear them to pieces with bullets, lasers, and nuclear explosions. You can play alone or with friends in a local co-op mode. So the co-op mode kind of perked my attention, but it looks like it's only a local thing. And then it says destroy as many enemies as you can before they overwhelm you. So this game sounds a little Vampire Survivors-like in just its shooter nature, and that there's just enemies on screen and that you're having to kill them all. So I'm very excited about that, since I am on a big Vampire Survivors hype train. I am pretty much driving the hype train, or I'm the second in command on that hype train, maybe according to my Game of the Year list. But I'm excited to get into this game. It sounds like something you can pick up and play at any time. And it's just always cool to get a recommendation from somebody that I haven't heard of. So The game's called Destropolis, or I guess that's how you pronounce it. It does look like a futuristic city, and so go purchase it if you'd like to. And I'll be giving you some more information about this game in the future. So check out the Dep Lewis Show for some more information on that. Another game I've been playing this week that I've had at least a few sessions with actually is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I actually played with a group of friends this week, so we had 5 of us in a party, so that was the most I've played with in this game, and the most I've definitely played with in a multiplayer game in many years, so that was very fun. It makes the time go by super quick, and you actually end up doing pretty well in the matches too, so I felt like I was getting in a pretty good groove, and everybody was, and we were working together and kicking some ass, and we were actually playing the shoot house, so a couple of my friends, this is their favorite mode to play, and it's actually the same map every time, but you can still pick your filter of the game types you like. So it was really cool. It's like a medium-sized map that's like a training ground, so it's like a pretty, I guess the pros of it are it's like a perfect setup of like a training simulation for a battle kind of thing. It's not very large, it's not too small, and you can learn the map and know all the corridors and ways to go and pop points pretty easily because you're playing it over and over, and then having the different game types on top of it adds the variety to it. So I think it's a really cool option that I didn't even know existed. I saw the shoot house option on the menu. I just never thought to click it because I just went for what I know. So that just shows you that branching out there and playing with other people, you'll learn some stuff, or it just shows that you don't know everything, and that is that advice is applicable to life and everything pretty much. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has been very fun. I plan on playing some more this week. It seems like I have a pretty good group of people that are playing it pretty regularly, so I just need to find time myself to jump in and play with them. And it's a really good game, and like I talked about earlier, they're going to be supporting this game with a big expansion at the end of the year, so that is more incentive for me to put some time into it, since it's going to be well supported. That makes it a perfect game to support myself. So go play the Call of Duty out there. Game's looking like it's full price most places. I don't expect it to be on sale anytime soon, I wouldn't think. The most surprising thing was that this was involved in the Target buy 2 get 1 free games earlier in the year, so that would have really benefited me, since I ended up buying a copy for my Xbox. But go check out the Call of Duty and pay the money if you love some Call of Duty. You'll really like it. The main game that I've been playing this week, which is kind of a surprise, and I think it has to do with the hype of something going on in the world, and that's the World Cup. The final of that is on Sunday, so I'm going to be watching that in the morning. And the game I've been playing the most this week is FIFA 23. I've been really getting into that. I've actually bumped the difficulty up. I think I might need to even bump it up one more time. I've been kind of owning the competition and the AI. I've been starting different seasons with different clubs. I've been trying to figure out which team I like and which players I like using. And I really don't know. I don't really have too much soccer knowledge. I just know a few things on the outskirts, and I have a few people that like it and have some fandom and can tell me about some things. But I've started playing with, started a season with Chelsea, because they have Christian Pulisic, Captain America from America. And then to my surprise, he doesn't even actually start on this team. So that was surprising to me and kind of deflated me on using them a little bit. I can sub them in, but obviously I'm not recognizing that, there's better players on that team. The other team I'm using is the Spurs, and I think the Tottenham Spurs, I think these could be the lead for my favorite team possibly right now, just based on a video game. They have Harry Kane from England, who is the reason I started playing this team. I liked watching him in the World Cup, so I figured I'd want to try him out in the game, and I've been really kicking ass with him. And then the other guy I've been using on their team is Son, who I actually think is their best player, and I've really been scoring a lot with him more recently. So they're the team I've actually been advancing my season on the most, and I think I'm kind of liking them as a team. So I need to try to watch them in real life at some point and see if I really like them. But I'm early on in my soccer fandom, so I'm trying to pick out what I like. So the Spurs have a little bit of a lead, but these are all teams I'm looking into. I immediately started playing Liverpool when I got into this game because of Virgil from the Netherlands. I learned he was on this team, but he plays defense, and I'm trying to score some goals here, so I don't know. Liverpool has a guy named Salah, or Salah. Not sure how you pronounce that, but I believe he's one of the best players in all of soccer or all of football. So I was having some pretty easy success with Liverpool, but I just switched it up. They were the first team I tried, and then I started starting some seasons with some other teams to try them out. I started the season with Real Madrid, so I could play Luka Modric from Croatia, who was my favorite player from the World Cup last year. But I think Real Madrid's in La Liga is what it is. And just the competition is not as exciting in La Liga. I think I dominated my first game playing with Real Madrid, so I really think I'm liking the Spurs right now. So that's the team when I'm loading up my Xbox to play some FIFA. I'm starting up my season with the Spurs, and I think I need to bump up the difficulty. So FIFA's been really great. This game is on sale right now. I've seen it consistently being on sale for half price on Xbox mainly. It is on sale on PS5 for a little bit, and there's that Switch version that I talked about last week. That is it's not a very upgraded version from what it's been on the Switch recently, but it is a version of FIFA on the Switch. But I don't know if it's on sale anymore. But I'm really on the soccer hype train right now. The World Cup ends Sunday, and we'll have our Victor Sunday, so we'll see if my hype train continues. I kind of want to watch a little bit of the Premier League when that starts or whenever it's going on. I need to look that up. I just have a lot of things going on in life, so you can't always just add a new thing out there. But I've been having so much fun with FIFA. That game is so relaxing to play. I've been listening to podcasts and listening to music while playing it, or just having a game on the side while playing it, and it's just really, really relaxing. The game never, soccer has a great flow to it. It doesn't stop much, and I don't know. I should have been playing some more FIFA, but I'm glad I'm playing it now. So I haven't played it in a long time, so it's been a great reintroduction to the franchise, and it's funny because this will be the last time it's called FIFA, but it's cool that I have a hard copy of this game to hold the legacy of FIFA down, and I'll have a piece of real history on my bookshelf, so that's pretty cool. So next year, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be called, but it's not going to be called FIFA anymore. So Mbappe is the cover athlete for the last FIFA, so maybe that's the reason why he's going to win the World Cup on Sunday, so we will see. But FIFA 23, so if you're interested in the virtual soccer, go out there and look for it right now. It should be on sale wherever you can find it, and download it and play it. It's really fun. And if you want to play me online, we could probably set that up too, and hopefully I can kick your ass. Alright, so another game I played this week that had a wonderful surprise is Vampire Survivors. I'd like to thank Poncel, still don't know how to pronounce it, but I'd like to thank you for the shadow drop of DLC. This was announced on 12/15 and it was released on 12/15/2022, and it's called Legacy of the Moonspell. It is one new stage. It is the biggest yet. I gotta tell you, this is my favorite map in this game already. It already beats the Mad Forest. It already beats the Inlaid Library. I think I've only played it 3 or 4 times, but I love it. It's awesome. I love the snow. I love the ghosts. It is the biggest yet. I love the little square you start with the cool little pink tree. It is awesome. It has 6 new music tracks. It has 8 new survivors who I haven't seen. It's got 13 new weapons, which I've seen a couple of them. There's a pentagram that erases everyone on the screen and has a cooldown. You don't get to pick up the jewels from them, but it erases them all, so that's pretty crazy. I don't know how long the cooldown is, but it seems like it takes a while. There's new monsters, and this DLC is only $1.99. So please go play Poncel. This $1.99 for this upgrade and this DLC. This is on Xbox and it's on Steam. So if you'd like to purchase this game outright, you're getting this game for under the price of a sandwich for the game and the DLC. So please go buy it. This game is not on Switch yet, but I did learn this game has a mobile version. So if you would like to try out the Vampire Survivors and you don't have an Xbox or a Switch, you can possibly try out this mobile version. And I've even thought about trying this out myself just for posterity's sake. I believe it's probably $1.99 on there. I don't really like playing mobile games, but it might be worth trying out, and I really like supporting this developer because this game is so good, and this is a very high contender and high. It's going to have a high ranking on the Dep Lewis Show for 2022 Games of the Year. So couldn't be more excited. I was already playing this game this week, and then the DLC gets announced, so that gave me a perfect reason to try something new. And I really love this new level, and I think I'm going to focus on the new level for the foreseeable future. So it's perfect. I just can't believe they knocked it out of the park with that. And it's just a snowy level. It's so wintry. There's a possible chance that there could be some snow on Christmas, and we're going to have some really cold temperatures next week. So Vampire Survivors is knocking it out of the park, and please go support that game. Please go buy it if you have a console you can play it on, or maybe check out that mobile version and see how that is. So just really a great game and some really cool DLC that came out this week. And then the last game and the things that I've been into this week is Elden Ring. This is a game that I've been thinking about a lot, so I just started back in playing it this week. My character, I forgot her name, is Yaren. That's based on a Brandon Sanderson novel, and she uses magic. And I missed my spectral steed, and I just jumped back into it. This is an open world game. I've just been walking around picking some stuff up. I keep seeing people talking about this game, especially with Game of the Year, and just talking about how great it is. And it just can't escape my mind, so I'm just back into just opening myself up to playing it some more, and I might as well. So I don't really have any immediate goals in the Elden Ring, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm kind of poking around back at this game, and it already has a high place on my list for the Game of the Year just based on the hours I put into it already. But this is something you can play multiple characters in. It's a giant open world. There's DLC for it. I think there's more DLC coming to it. So this is a game that has, as I keep saying this, I just keep sometimes overusing phrases, but has long legs to it. So Elden Ring, go play it if you haven't played it. I have noticed this is on sale on Xbox right now for $42 if you haven't picked it up. It looks like some physical versions of this game are full price, and even on Amazon you can't find them. So Elden Ring is massively popular and should continue to keep selling well based on it getting updated and just more people getting it for Christmas and things like that. Hopefully a lot of people are getting this game for Christmas, especially people that aren't able to play all the releases as they come out. Hopefully someone's getting this game for Christmas who, hasn't gotten a new game in a while or needs a game to really hold down their attention and take up some hours. This would be the perfect game, and the perfect game to recommend to anyone if you really want, unless they just really had an aversion to this type of game. This would be a perfect one to recommend to someone who needed a great game to play. So go play the Elden Ring out there. So that's going to be the end of this first section of the show today. We talked about some Splatoon 3. We have that next Splatfest coming up. That's starting January 6th, so go check that out, and I will be checking that out too. That'll probably be the next time I'm playing a huge chunk of Splatoon 3, just besides some random games. I purchased Destropolis this week for $1.99. That game's on sale till December 28th on the Switch, and this was a game recommended to me, so I purchased it, and I'm going to try it out. I've been playing the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I've been having a great time. I'll probably be playing some more of that game this week. I'm really heavy into the FIFA 2023. That's the game I've been playing the most of this week, and I really don't see myself slowing down on this anytime soon. My season with the Spurs is going really, really well. I don't think I've even lost a match yet, but I've had some close ones, and I think I need to bump the difficulty up, so we will see. Vampire Survivors had some new DLC that was announced this week and the release this week, and I think you should go play that right now. I think you should go buy that game wherever you can. I think there's a mobile version of this game, so you should go play it. And then I got back into some Elden Ring this week. Everyone in the Game of the Year stuff is talking about Elden Ring. I already love Elden Ring, and I've played a lot of it, but I'm back into playing it, and I'm very happy about it. So those are my updates for what I'm into and what I've been playing this week. We're going to come back in the next section and talk about what I've been seeing out there in the video game world. There's a few releases that are out right now that I've been seeing, and there's a few things that have been announced and are coming out later that I'd like to talk about. So that's what we're going to do. So please, we're going to take a short break. Go do whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to the mid section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 11. This is the mid section where I talk about what I've been seeing out there in the video game world that I'm liking, and I have a lot of stuff this week. It's been incredibly busy with news recently. I had a ton last week where it was really easy. Where it was really easy to get news together for this show, and I had the same event happen to me this week. So that's pretty exciting and pretty helpful for the Dep Lewis Show. So I hope you enjoyed this content I'm bringing you this week. So the most anticipated game of 2023 for the Dep Lewis Show is a game called Fire Emblem Engage for the Nintendo Switch. This game comes out on January 20th, 2023. And IGN did their final preview of the game this week, and I watched it. I learned that Alear, A-L-E-A-R, is the name of the main protagonist. So another name that I don't know how to pronounce and I have to guess on, so I'm going to say Alir. Alir. I don't know, but I still really like the style of the main character. The video starts off with her and Marth fighting together, and they called this an anime chess simulator, and I really liked hearing that description. I thought that was pretty cool. They kept highlighting the graphics and the presentation style being really good, and it did look like a step up from the last game. The last game, I believe, at last episode I said came out in 2017, but it actually came out in 2019, so it's only been a couple years since that game was last released, and quickly jumped up to one of my favorite games of all time. This final preview is highlighting the 12 emblem rings that you use in this game to summon the lords from Fire Emblem Past to help with the battles. This is sort of like a pair-up mechanic from Fire Emblem Awakening, if you're familiar with that, but it's actually an item, so it's a ring, instead of whatever the pair-up mechanic from Fire Emblem Awakening was, which I played some of that game, but I don't really remember that mechanic right off the top. These rings show off characters of the past here and introduce them to new people possibly. So that IGN was saying that them having these 12 emblem rings with the characters from the past would be a great way to introduce players who have never played Fire Emblem before, who are new players, to get introduced to the characters of old. So I think that's pretty cool too, since I'm a newer Fire Emblem fan than anything. So it's kind of cool to get to learn some of these people and get to meet them for the first time. They were saying that the core of the combat is still here intact with some nice improvements. And I looked up 2003 was the first time Fire Emblem was brought here to the West. So really excited for this game. I just saw another trailer came out, and it was talking about your main hub area, and it was going to show you around there and tell you all the details. And I started watching it, and then I said, hey, I'm not going to watch any more of this. I believe I've kept up with enough information on this game. It is almost 30 days out. It's just a little over 34 days, I believe is what it is, 34, 35. And I don't really need to know much more about it. I need to go ahead and just lay down the cash and buy this game is the next step I need to take. So I just want to let you know that there is a final preview out there, and it seems like they're going to keep rolling out some trailers up until their release, which is very smart, but I'm going to tap myself out most likely on watching them. Possibly I'll talk about them on a later episode just to mention them or highlight them, but I don't need any more hype for this game. I can't wait for it. So Fire Emblem Engage is coming out January 20th, so go check that out on your Nintendo Switch. Alright, another game that got released this week, there was something that got released and I had never heard about, and I believe it is a full price game if you want to buy it on the Xbox, and I believe it's on PC as well, and it is also on Game Pass. That is another wonderful example of something getting released that's a full price game and it's coming out on Game Pass on day one, and that game is called High on Life. And this game, I feel like this game had to be one of the higher trending games of this week. I heard a lot of my shows and a lot of my people that I like to hear talk about video games are talking about High on Life. I actually saw I saw Giant Bomb did a quick look. I saw Jeff Gerstmann did a play of this. I saw Nextlander did a play of this. I'm sure MinMax was. Everybody in the industry was playing this damn game. And I watched it for a little bit. I watched Jeff. I watched Jeff and Nextlander, and I quickly decided that I don't want to play this game. I think it looks cool. You have a gun that talks to you, but I just don't know if I'm into the style or mainly the way. I don't know. I just know. Go check this game out for yourself. It's a weird looking thing. Let's see. I wrote a comment, enough for the goop and the glop. That's what that gun was talking about, was like shooting some goop out of his glop. It's just grossing me out. I'm not into that kind of gross stuff like that. The developer of this game is called Squanch Games, and I really hate that word squanch. It sounds awful, but I actually kind of like it. So I think it's a good way to describe the way this game looks in the goop and the glop styles. The squanch is really hitting that pretty right, but it's just not something that I'm into or want to spend my time playing. And the premise of this game so this game, there is something cool here. I just don't think it's for me. But you should go check it out because it's cool to look at. But I looked at it for a little bit and I had to avert my eyes. So at least it's kind of doing something interesting rather than doing something bland. So that's me putting my positive spin on it. But this game, the premise of this is Earth is invaded by aliens. and they want to use humans for drugs. So even thinking now, this is cool that they're just trying something out there that's just different than the norm. They're taking a weird take. Even your gun talking to you in this little quirky way is interesting and new. It's like having Cortana from Halo being in your gun and she's talking to you, but it's just creepy. The gun has like a face that looks at you and he's talking to you, and it's just strange. And the let's see, talking gun, part of a race that resembles guns. And they called it a talking gun game, and it really is. Alex Navarro from Nextlander calls it a dirtbag sci-fi story. And the comparisons, they were comparing it to Rick and Morty humor. So Rick and Morty is something that I think is okay. I don't know if I've ever watched a whole lot of it, but I think it does have a unique style of humor. And they were saying this game, the humor style is similar. So if that's something you're into, and obviously if you have Game Pass or you're a fan of first-person shooter with some story in it, this might be something you want to play. So just interesting. It's called High on Life. I don't know, just go check it out. A lot of the visuals on this are very shocking, and not shocking, that's not the right word. They're just very expressive. Maybe there's a lot of color going on, and just there's a lot going on. They're really high on life, and they really I don't know, they're doing something. So Squanch Games, you got a cool name, but I don't know if I'm going to play your game. But I'm here telling other people about it. So maybe go out there and play the Squanch with the Goop and the Glop, and check it out. So that's a game out there in the world. All right, another game that you've all heard about is called Fortnite, but something you might not have heard about is an anime called, or a manga called My Hero Academia, which is an awesome show, and I watched it, and those characters are now in Fortnite. So I booted up Fortnite today, and I looked, and you can buy All Might, you can buy Deku, Mr. Izuku Midoriya, and I believe it was 2,200 battle points. You'd have to pay $20 to get 2,800 points. You could pay the 2,200, and you can get the All Might bundle. And I don't know. I don't really have any plans to play Fortnite going forward, but it almost just seems like I need to buy it just because I'm not going to be able to buy it again. But this was just really the point to highlight. If you wanted to buy some My Hero Academia characters in Fortnite, you can go do it right now. Or if you want to go watch that, if you want a recommendation for a good anime show, My Hero Academia is a great recommendation. I've probably watched maybe 3 of the seasons, so I haven't watched all of it, which I'll admit, but I have it on my list of things to finish at some point, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the episodes that I watched, and it's really cool. So it was exciting to see that. Fortnite's really been trying to, Fortnite's really doing the tie-ins very perfectly, because they just had The Witcher, they had Geralt on there a little bit ago. They're always really nailing the Marvel stuff. They have, and most of the times you can look on the store there's something really cool to buy. So I really give them a lot of credit for that. So go check out Fortnite if you'd like to. You probably already checked it out though. But it is free $99 for that game, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's see here. Now we're going to get into 2 announcements. I know 2 games that are coming up in 2023. This first one, I don't know if this release date just got announced, but Street Fighter 6 is going to be coming to consoles and places where you play video games on June 2nd, 2023 for $59.99. So it seems like Street Fighter 6 has missed the price increase from $59.99 to $69.99 that other games are making, so that was a little bit surprising, and I don't know if that's an error or something that we'll see updated, but I was kind of thinking that most next-gen games are going to be released at that $69.99 price point, but look, maybe Street Fighter is holding out, and Capcom is just being their generous selves and giving everyone a break. But who knows? I gotta say that I'm really not liking the store artwork for this game at all. If that's the box art, like the cover on the box art, I don't think that's very cool looking. But it's possible they could update it. I don't know if it's just the digital storefront cover I'm looking at or like the actual box art, but I really don't think it looks good. It's just a really close-in look on a character. But that's just a really small nitpick because I think everything else in this game looks cool, and I'm definitely going to be playing this. Let's see. It's available for pre-order right now. I don't know yet if I'm going to buy this on Xbox or PlayStation. I actually have a fight stick for both systems. My Xbox fight stick is actually a little bit newer, but I probably played more on my PlayStation fight stick. And then I have the whole argument of the Xbox Live online service versus the PS Plus online service. So just thinking it through in my head right now.
I have a couple months left on my Xbox Live Gold for Call of Duty. If I'm still playing Call of Duty on the Xbox, then I'll probably re-up it. And then that'll probably be a good indicator if I should buy Street Fighter on which system. So if I'm really into the Call of Duty on Xbox still in a couple months, and I re-up my Xbox Live, then I should probably look towards buying the Street Fighter on Xbox. This got me thinking, should I play some Street Fighter 5 to kind of get back in the groove, which would require me to play it on PlayStation 5 since that game is only on PlayStation. And then it brought up, why is this game automatically on both systems? You know, what happened with 5 where that couldn't come out on Xbox? You know, I fell in love with Street Fighter 4 on Xbox. Then I played the hell out of it. That was the first time I ever really played a Street Fighter game. You know, besides just playing it in an arcade randomly or whatever, like at a place where they had a machine. But you know, it was weird just now thinking back that 5 didn't have multi-platform, and then they announced 6, and it's like, okay, it's automatically on both platforms. So who knows? I don't know what happened with 5, but obviously it seems like it was a mistake. And I looked up some history on the Street Fighter sales. Street Fighter 4, let's see what I wrote here. Street Fighter 4 had 9.4 million copies sold between all different versions. There was a million versions of Street Fighter 4 came out, like Ultra version, Arcade version, Hyper Arcade version, blah, 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 blah. There was a whole bunch, and I guess they all amounted to around 9.4 million. This game came out in 2008, and this is my favorite Street Fighter game. I was mainly a Ryu fan, and I played this game on Xbox 360, like I was saying. I bought, back then I bought a fight. I basically played controller, but I was trying to buy, I bought like a fight pad that I tried to use. Not a fight pad, it's like a controller size thing with like a different type of, with different buttons on it. But I wasn't able to buy a fight stick then, but now I do have a fight stick, and I've mainly played that with Mortal Kombat, but I will be using that for Street Fighter 6 when that comes out, because I just announced when that comes out. And that is June 2nd, 2023. Alright, and then Street Fighter 5, so that came out in 2016. It looks like it sold 5.8 million copies sold, so not as many copies as 4. The first Street Fighter release was August 30th, 1987. And the last release before 6, so they released that Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which came out May 29, 2018. I thought maybe that would be a good thing to try to play instead of 5. Maybe I could buy the 30th Anniversary Collection on my Xbox and start, trying to get into a groove a little bit with the fight stick. And I already have the online service, so maybe that's a good note. Hey, if I'm listening to the show, which I know I am, because I re-listen to these things to try to make them better, hey, go buy that. Check out that Street Fighter 30th Anniversary and see how much it costs. And buy it on the Xbox. It might be a good idea. Something fun to try out and play. Alright. So yeah, the Street Fighter's coming this year, which is really cool. Over the summer, I really do see myself buying this game at the jump, so I got a plan for that. And I got to add it to my list of definite purchases for the Dep Lewis Show for 2023. And it could be a contender for the Game of the Year. You never know. It could get that prestigious placement on the Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year list, so we will see. Only time will tell. Alright, we got another announcement this week for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game will come out March 17, 2023. This is the next chapter of the journey started in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the 2019 game. This picks up 5 years after the first game, and it's the third-person narrative-driven action-adventure game from Respawn Entertainment, developed in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. I played a little bit of the first game. It's a Metroidvania-style game in the Star Wars universe. It looks really cool. That game is actually on sale for crazy cheap right now. I really think I've seen it for like $5 on the Xbox and possibly on sale on PlayStation as well. So I thought about just picking it up since it's the price of a cup of coffee, so I can have it in my collection. But I don't think this will be a game that I'll be playing right away since I haven't completed the first one, and I don't know. This might not be something I would play right from the jump, but it could be something I play in the future. So, excuse me. It could be something I play in the future, and it does look really cool. I think I saw one trailer for it at least, so there's definitely some content out for it right now if you want to go check it out. So, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, go check out the Star Wars Jedi. And it's cool to see that first game. I think that first game scratched a lot of itches for Star Wars fans of what they want in a video game, so it's cool to see it was successful, and it's cool to see it's getting a sequel. So hopefully it'll be bigger and better, and just keep snowballing into some greater things for the Star Wars series and all their fans. Alright, let's see. Another thing I wrote down I wanted to talk about is Hogwarts Legacy. Oh yeah, okay, this is interesting. So, Hogwarts Legacy is a game that comes out this year, or it comes out, man, I gotta watch that because the year's not over yet. It comes out in 2023, and this is a game for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC that comes out on February 10th, 2023. And there's also a 72-hour early access beginning on February 7th, 2023. But the Hogwarts Legacy team came out this week, and they had a tweet that said they are going to launch on April 4th, 2023 for a PS4 and Xbox One, and on July 25th, 2023 for Nintendo Switch. The team is looking forward to bringing you the game, and we want to deliver the best possible game experience across all platforms. So this is a delay, not for the next-gen versions. This is a delay for the old-gen versions, so they need some more time to adapt those games to be able to run correctly on the older consoles and the older hardware. And then they also need a little more time to make the game run on Nintendo Switch. So you're going to have to wait till July to get the Nintendo Switch game. So this game, the next-gen version is not getting delayed. That game comes out in February. The prior-gen console release of this game will come out in April. So we're looking at February to April to July for the Nintendo Switch version of this game. So Hogwarts Legacy has a lot of people hyped for it, me included, being a Harry Potter fan. I don't think they've ever executed a Harry Potter video game correctly. That's been cool. Not one that at least I've played or come across. I know they have the Lego games that I think people like, but this looks like kind of more of the Hogwarts or Harry Potter game that people would want. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing this game right away, but this could be something I get tempted to play later in the year. And I really hope it's going to be I hope it's going to be reviewing well, and it's something that I just have hopes that it's going to be cool. So I'll definitely be checking into it and see what the internets and the video game streets are saying about Hogwarts Legacy. But I thought it was interesting that they are delaying the old gen version of this game. So I think it's also good. I think it's good since I'm an owner of the next gen consoles that they're prioritizing the next gen. But I don't know. I think it's just an interesting look into how much work it takes to go into making these video games, and it's not just a flick of a button to put them on the different platforms. So there's a lot of work that goes into this, and it's amazing when these games look and run great, and I hope Hogwarts Legacy will do both of those things. Alright, so I believe that was all the announcements. One thing I just wanted to talk about was, I think possibly this week, that I've discovered that maybe I'm a survival horror, I can't even say it, a survival horror fan, and I don't even know it. So I can't even say the genre because I don't even know if I like it. I don't even know if I'm a fan, but I think I might be. I've been recently wanting to play Callisto Protocol. I've been thinking about playing that Dead Space remake. I've been looking at footage for the Resident Evil 4 remake. My favorite video game ever is Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 1 is also one of my favorite games. Those are survival horror games, I would say. You know, you're fighting zombies and things of that. Resident Evil 5 is a game I beat multiple times back when that came out. I bought the Resident Evil 2 remake when that came out and played some of that. And I just saw I can get a free PS5 upgrade for that. I like survival. I wrote here survivor horror, but survival horror movies and TV shows. I like The Walking Dead. I watched a lot of that. I like I Am Legend. I read World War Z. I played Dead Rising back in the day, so I'm onto something here. I think I'm discovering something that I like that I wouldn't normally say. I usually like to say I'm a wuss, or I'm too scared. I don't like horror movies, but maybe I like survival horror games. I've never played Dead Space because I was always too scared to play it, so maybe I need to prepare to play this Dead Space remake. And maybe I need to play Callisto Protocol. I heard that the Xbox and PC version of that game runs terribly, so I don't know if they patched that yet, because I would like to probably buy this game on Xbox, since that's my third-party platform of choice, but I could play it on PS5. That Resident Evil 4 remake comes out sometime early next year. So I don't know, I need to think about this some more. I really just noticed myself this week looking at all those games, and I noticed a common through line through them, and it might be something I really like that I'm not taking advantage of. So maybe we'll catch the Dep Lewis Show, being brave and playing some survival horror games coming up. and really enjoying them. And maybe I'll be adding some of these other games to my favorite games of all time list. We will see. So I wanted to put that. Oh, sorry, I keep kicking my damn filter, but I wanted to put that note in there so I could remember that for myself, because I was like, what the hell? Like, it's just, I keep watching footage and thinking about them, and then, Last of Us 2 is my favorite game, so it's like, damn, I can play more of these things. I can have more of this shit I like, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so it being Friday, December 16th, we are getting close to the end of the year. I've been seeing some Game of the Year content starting. I saw Giant Bomb started doing their Game of the Year stuff this week. I haven't really watched any of their content, but I just thought it was cool to see what was going on. That's always usually a great thing to watch and a great time of the year. And I noticed that they're not actually doing their list this year on their website, which I thought was interesting. That's the first time they're not doing that in a long time, where they get top 10 lists from the people on the site, put their list on there and write some comments about it, and they also get lists from their friends and other people across the industry. So it was kind of sad to see they're not doing that, and this is the first Game of the Year without Jeff Gerstmann, so that's just a little bit sad over there, but you should still go support the Giant Bomb people and what they're doing, and their Game of the Year stuff is going on, so just wanted to highlight that. You need to go check out MinMax and their 210s. I believe that started this week. I haven't listened to their podcast yet, but I saw their the cover of their podcast image, or the thumbnail was saying Game of the Year, so that's pretty exciting. And then Nextlander, they haven't started their Game of the Year stuff this week. I listened to their pod, but I believe they start next week, and I think it's 2 weeks of content, but I could be wrong on that. But check out Nextlander next week, maybe for their Game of the Year content. And it looks like the Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year. Game of the Year release of the top 10 will be on the New Year's weekend. So we're going to end the year off right with the top 10 games for the Dep Lewis Show, and it's going to be the best list across the world and across the universe for video games. So it's going to be the de facto, it's just going to be the standard. And this is going to be the best list of video games that you can see. So please come check out the Dep Lewis Show for that later in the year. And that's going to wrap up this mid-section of the show. We talked about a lot of things. We're going to highlight them real quick. We talked about the Fire Emblem Engage final preview on IGN. Go check that out. The game comes out January 20th. We talked about High on Life being released. I think that's on Xbox and PC. Go play that if you'd like and go check it out. It's on Game Pass, or you can pay full price. The My Hero Academia characters have come to Fortnite. Street Fighter 6 is coming out June 2nd, 2023. I'm really excited about that. I had to decide if I'm going to play that on Xbox or PlayStation. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is going to be released on March 17th, 2023. That is the next game in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen. That's the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from 2019. Hogwarts Legacy, the old gen versions have gotten delayed, and so has the Switch version. But the next gen versions of that game are still on track to get released in February. And then I possibly am a fan of survival horror, and I didn't even know it. And then the Game of the Year is going on around everywhere, and going to be going on for the Dep Lewis Show in a couple weeks. So look out for all the great Game of the Year content out there in the world. So we are going to come back in just a minute. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to finish off this show, episode 11, with the Miscellaneous Talk section. And we're going to talk some music. We're going to talk some sports. And then we are going to get out of here until next week. So please go take another quick break, and then we'll be back in just a minute for the final section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 11. Be right back. Hey, welcome back to the final section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 11. This is the Miscellaneous Talk section, and I got a few things I want to talk to you about today before I let you go. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is some music. I want to let you know that I've still been bumping the Drake and 21 Savage album a whole lot, and I think it's a really great album. I think if I was making a Dep Lewis Show favorite album of the year list, it would be really high up there. I keep finding songs I like on there. I don't have many skips on it, so I just want to recommend Drake and 21 Savage albums called Her Loss out there to go listen to. It's been released for a little bit It's been released for a little while, and I've still been bumping it, so I just want to recommend it out there even more. SZA's new album is Hard as Hell. I don't have hardly any skips on that either. That just came out last week, and I've been bumping it all week. I just like putting it on shuffle, and I can listen to the whole thing through, and it goes very quick. And I really can't believe that she was able to do it again. Her first album was in 2017, Control, and it's a classic, and I think this one is too. I think it's just as good, if not better, than that album. So that's amazing, and shout out to SZA. It's wonderful and just really, really cool. And I saw Young Dolph, rest in peace to Young Dolph, but he has a, I guess it's a posthumous album that got released today. So please go stream that or go download it. It looked like 13 songs. There was a few features on there. It looked like Key Glock was on there. It looked like 2 Chainz and Gucci I saw, so that's pretty cool. This has to be, probably the greatest hits of songs he ever recorded that he was waiting to release before he passed. So hopefully it's some pretty good music on there. And it said he owns all his masters, so any music from the streams or purchases will be going towards his family, or at least a big majority of it will, or I guess all of it will. Maybe not through the streaming platforms, but his family will be seeing money from this. So go support the young Dolphin out there, and rest in peace to him. And I think that's it for the music. I just wanted to mention, go listen to Drake and 21, go listen to SZA, and go stream that Dolph album. Alright, so we're going to get into some sports talk to end the week. Here on the Dep Lewis Show. The highlights of the sports world this week are the World Cup final coming up on Sunday. We got Argentina versus France. We got Messi versus Mbappe. And I don't know who I'm going for. I think everyone wants to see Messi win, since that is the icing on his greatest ever cake. That if he can win the World Cup, which he has not done before, that he would be crowned the greatest ever. So that would be cool to see. But France also looks very good, and Mbappe winning the World Cup would be pretty epic. And I don't know, I think I like Mbappe better, but I'm just kind of a new soccer fan, so what do I know? I don't know if I would bet against Messi, though, so I think it'll be interesting to watch. So Sunday morning, go check out the World Cup final, and you'll have to wait 4 years to see it again, so make sure you don't miss it. Next time it's coming to the United States, and hopefully the United States will put up a bigger fight in the next time. But for now, we're going to watch Argentina and France, and hopefully it's a great battle. I hope it's a lot of goals, and I hope we get overtime. And I guess I hope we get PKs, or I hope we get a late goal in the second overtime period to win the game. That would be pretty cool. So that is what I'm hoping for as a fan without a dog in the fight. All right, well, let's talk about dogs in the fight that I do have. The Carolina Panthers beat the Seahawks last week, the great Seahawks. They had a great game. Go Sam Darnold. We had takeaways on defense. J.C. Horn, what a beast. I almost need to buy a number 8 jersey because he's been doing so well and has been so impressive and fun to watch. And he really just looks like a stud out there. He's just balling. Laviska Shenault's playing well. We have 3 running backs playing well. We have the rookie with the speed out there. He had a great game against Seattle. I want to say go Steve Wilkes. I hope he gets the full-time job. I really don't see how we don't give Steve Wilkes the job. He's changed the energy of the team, and he's put together some wins. That Seattle win was huge on the road, and they've created the moniker to protect the bank. They're coming home to protect the bank, so I hope they can do that. And they're going to try to protect the bank this Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Steelers. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I think the Panthers can win, so I hope they do. And last week, the coach was saying they won the game up front on both sides, so I hope they do that again against the Steelers. We're going to need Sam Darnold to keep playing well and really upping his stock, and I know he's probably enjoying that, and he has a couple more opportunities to make that stock go up even higher, so we will see. So the Panthers will see the Steelers on Sunday. I'm going to be watching that and looking forward to that. The Atlanta Hawks. I know I watched them tonight. They played the Hornets. They kicked the Hornets' ass, which was great. It was in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball was playing. I saw Gordon Hayward out there. But Bogey went off on those fools. And this was his first start of the season, I saw. And, the Hornets were playing Waka Flocka Flames Lurking while in the arena. So that was pretty cool to see. I just wanted to shout out the Hornets arena for being awesome. But the Hawks really got to get it together. They've really been kind of mediocre. And Bogey's back, seemingly full force and maybe better than ever, so that's good to know. And we'll get Murray back sort of soon, and hopefully the Hawks can go on the run here. So we will see. It was good to see them get a win tonight. They should get. It was kind of crazy they weren't even favored against the Hornets, which is kind of disrespectful. But the Hawks have been slumping, so it's a little bit understandable, but just not nice to see because the Hornets have been having a pretty bad season. But tonight the Hawks got a win, so shout out to them for doing great things for the Dep Lewis Show and the Dep Lewis Show's fandom. All right, some more of the Dep Lewis Show's fandom is Major League Baseball and the official Dep Lewis Show Major League Baseball team is the Atlanta Braves. And this week they traded for Sean Murphy. They traded Wild Bill, Bill Contreras. They traded him and some other players, including Kyle Muller and Freddie Tarnok. They traded him to, it was a 3-team trade between the Brewers, the A's, and the Braves, and it resulted in the Braves getting the best player in the deal, which is Sean Murphy, and he's a catcher. So Alex Anthopoulos says that it's going to be Sean Murphy mainly, with Travis d'Arnaud backing him up. So he's guaranteed that Travis d'Arnaud is not going to get traded, but there's still some speculation out there that Travis d'Arnaud could get moved, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see. We are still on Dansby Swanson watch. I am not feeling very hopeful on that, but I would love to see the Braves give Dansby Swanson a contract and pay him some money to make him stay in Atlanta for the prime of his career. So we're going to see. I guess if Dansby's going, we're going to see Vaughn Grissom be our shortstop. And I don't know. I thought we maybe wouldn't be signing a left fielder if we're not going to sign Dansby, but Benintendi or Benintendi, I can't say his name right now, but from the Yankees actually got signed to the White Sox today, who plays left field. So he was somebody I was kind of looking at for the Braves to get if they weren't able to shell out the $20 million AAV for Dansby. They'd have to pay it to somebody seemingly, so I don't know who it's going to be. The free agents have been dropping like flies. We saw Gallo get signed. Yankees got them a pitcher last night, and there's been a few more, but there's not really many left on the musical chair. So I'm just hoping the Braves can pay that money to Dansby, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't know what their other solution is going to be. So hopefully the Braves will be paying some money to somebody that I'm not thinking of right now, but we will see. So let's see here. Sean Murphy, though, he's supposed to be the best catcher in baseball, possibly only behind JT Realmuto. His defense is supposed to be as elite can get, so that is the sell on why you get rid of Bill Contreras, because Sean Murphy has lockdown defense and possibly the best in the league at that, and his bat is no slouch, so that is the gamble you're taking here from Bill. You got Bill with his bat, but you got Sean with the elite defense and a bat that's comparable, if not just as good. So it's pretty cool. He is 28 years old, and we have three more years of control of him for cheap. His contract is not too expensive, so I don't know if we're going to have plans to extend him. My guess right now would be we will just let the 3 years ride, and then probably not pay him. He'll probably be awesome for us for 3 years, and we'll win a World Series, and then we'll let him go at the end of the 3 years because somebody will want to pay him huge money at 31. And he'll end up being the catcher for, I was going to say the Dodgers, but they got Will Smith, so maybe he'll be the catcher for the Padres or something in 3 years. We'll see, but that's just me being a jerk, really. But I'm hoping Sean Murphy will be balling out for the Braves. I saw that he wore number 12, so I'm interested to see if he'll be wearing number 12 for the Braves. I tried to look up his press conference. I saw that he had a press conference. I found the text to it on an article, but I couldn't find the video, so I thought that was pretty lame. I think the Atlanta Braves should step their media game up, and they should have had a fucking press conference that you could watch for Sean Murphy. He's supposed to be the best catcher in baseball, and we made a big trade. We gave up William Contreras and some other players that we traded some guys for him, and it wasn't necessarily a position that we needed to upgrade. So it'd be cool to be seeing this press conference of a player that is seemingly so special. So that would just be my recommendation to the Atlanta Braves team out there. But what do I know? I'm just a podcast who's 11 episodes in, so what do I know? But this is a podcast that's 11 episodes in, and I believe that's going to end our show today. So I really appreciate you listening to this first night episode of the Dep Lewis Show, coming at you on a Friday, December 16th. almost time to end the year, and I'm going to release this podcast in just a little bit, so it's going to come out on a Friday night. People are going to be wondering out there in the world, what the hell's going on? We could possibly be in bed, or we could be out partying right now, and the Dep Lewis Show, episode 11 is getting released. So this is going to be a surprise for you tonight. Either you're going to be listening early, or you're going to be waking up tomorrow like it's Christmas morning, and this show is going to be released in your feed, and you can put it on your headphones and listen to the Dep Lewis Show on a Friday night. So I hope you enjoyed this show. The last section there, we talked about some music. Go listen to Drake and 21. Go listen to SZA. Go listen to Young Dolph. Go watch the World Cup on Sunday morning. Don't miss it if you're sleeping in. Watch the Panthers Sunday play the Seahawks. The Hawks got that win against the Hornets tonight, so go Hawks. Keep trending it upwards, or start trending upwards is what I want to say. And please, Dansby Swanson sign with the Braves, and please, Braves, pay Dansby Swanson some money. So hopefully I'll be able to report that news to you next week, and that would make me very happy. So another thing that would make me very happy is if you would follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. If you would like, if you would subscribe, if you would rate, if you would comment, if you would review, if you would turn on notifications, and tell a friend. And then email any questions or feedback to the Dep Lewis Show to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. And full episodes of this show are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Check out clips on YouTube and TikTok, and just thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a great week out there, and I hope I'll see you next week for episode 12. And just thank you for listening as always. I'll see you next time. Peace.